During the South Asia tsunami in December 2004, over 90% of the inhabited islands were submerged under the waves. 82 died, 26 went missing, and over 15,000 people were made homeless. People from 13 of the islands were forced to abandon their homes and move to another island. Before the tsunami struck, Arifa lived on Madifushi Island with her husband and 6 children. Madifushi is southeast of the Maldives, inhabited by a mere 250 people. Their main source of livelihood was farming. Due to the lack of commercial activities on Madifushi, 1/3 of the population had to make their living on nearby islands. The Maldives, on average, are 1.5 meters above sea level. When the towering 4-meter tsunami wave struck, it virtually placed the entire Madifushi Island underwater. Arifa's husband didn't survive the waves. His body was found in the rubble the next day. After the tragedy, Arifa and her 6 children were sent to the national capital Male together with other survivors. They were put into temporary shelters built by the government to wait for further assistance. After staying in the temporary shelters for 2 weeks, good news came. The people of Mamigili Island invited the Madifushi survivors to stay with them on their island, and the government would build new houses there for them. Arifa and the rest of the tsunami survivors were overjoyed. They put their sorrows behind them, quickly packed their belongings, and got ready to leave for Mamigili. The people of Mamigili greeted the people of Madifushi on their arrival. Almost the entire population of Mamigili came to join this welcoming event. The people from Mamigili were happy to lend a hand to their less fortunate neighbours. They welcomed them wholeheartedly into their lives.
This is a unanimous decision taken by the people of Mamigili to bring the grief-stricken people of Madifushi to our island. We shall give them love and care and provide them with everything they need until they get permanent shelter here. They would sleep on our beds and they would eat what we eat.
Arifa and her family were taken to the house of a self-employed businessman, Abdullah. Abdullah, his wife Halimath, and their family welcomed Arifa's family with open arms. Despite her grief, Arifa is happy and grateful that there are generous people showing them such kindness in their hour of darkness.
I'm very happy to be here. I feel like being at home. My caretakers are taking good care of me and my family. I am satisfied. I'm not thinking about going back to Madifushi anymore.
The island of Mamagili is considered better developed compared to other islands in the Maldives. Aside from fishing and construction, tourism is rapidly becoming a major source of revenue for the island. Surrounded by beautiful beaches, resorts and souvenir shops, Mamagili is full of tourist attractions. A new regional airport is under construction, creating even more job opportunities. The newly arrived residents from Madifushi will add new strength to the existing labour force and contribute to the booming economy of Mamagili. The island chief of Madifushi, Mathin, lost everything during the tsunami. After settling down like the rest of his people in Mamagili, he is very satisfied that the government has given him the same job that he had in Madifushi.
Our people are satisfied. They all have some way of earning a living. Back in Madifushi, there weren't as many job opportunities for us as here. We are all determined to stay here and working hard for a better life.
The Maldives government wasted no time in rebuilding the country. On the 30th day after the disaster, the president of the Maldives, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom, visited Mamagili for the foundation-laying ceremony of the new houses there.
I
praise the people of Mamagili for inviting and allowing the people of Madifushi to stay with your families. You have shown a good example for the nation. The history of our religion has shown us examples like these. You have proved yourselves that you are following the good examples of Islam.
The main event of today's function is the laying of the foundation of the housing units for 36 families of Madifushi. Arifa's son, Nayaz, is fortunate to take part in this ceremony. According to the government, construction will be in 2 phases and should be completed within a year. Naturally, everyone is looking forward to live in their own home.
The construction work of the first 18 houses has already begun. The work of another 18 houses will commence soon. The new houses are built around the neighbourhood of the Mamagili people. The people of Madifushi and Mamagili will be living together to form a new society. The newcomers will be able to move into their new houses in about 8 months from now.
It's been 5 months since Arifa and her family arrived in Mama Gili. She's now fully settled in this new environment and determined to build a new life with her family on this island. Like the rest of the Mama Gili women, Arifa has to work for a living. She has a job at the nearby holiday island, working as a janitor in a resort hotel. She leaves for work every morning at 7:45. It only takes 5 minutes by boat to reach the resort. Arifa, along with her friends, works on the island until 4 in the afternoon, 6 days a week. She earns about $100 a month. This is the first time in her life she's had a job and has earned her own living. Arifa works hard every day, hoping to save enough money to buy things for her new house.
I wanted to earn money and start a new life. This is why I took the job to work in the resort. My family is doing well, and they are now settled. The people of Mama Gili are very friendly and caring. I want to move into my new home soon. I'm anxiously waiting for the big moment to come.
Arifa is very grateful to Abdullah and his family for reaching out to help them in their darkest hour. After returning from work each day, she helps her family and their benefactors with the household chores and takes care of the children. Friday is Arifa's one day off in the week, and she can be seen with her family visiting the construction site of their new home. According to the schedule, the construction will be completed soon, and when the time comes, she will have a place she calls home where her children will be raised. Arifa goes to the mosque regularly to pray for her family and her deceased husband. Although sorrow and sadness remains, she has the strength she needs to overcome these feelings with the blessings she gets from her prayers. One month before the completion of her new house, Arifa plans to make a trip back to her home island to pay respect to her deceased husband. She has wanted to make this journey for quite some time, but since she can't afford the expensive transportation fee, she has to put the idea on hold. She's very upset. However, with the help from a donor agency, Arifa's humble wish finally comes true. This speedboat will take her and her family to their home island for a visit. A mixture of emotions surfaces on her face when the boat gets nearer to the island where she once lived. As soon as the boat anchored, Arifa rushes to their former house. The once happy home where they had their family and built a livelihood together has become nothing but a pile of rubble.
This is where I lived. There were 3 rooms inside. Here used to be the living room, the kitchen and the dining room over there. This is where we lived for years. It's all gone. I don't know what to say. When the giant wave came, I was sweeping the ground with my daughter, over there on the beach. I was stunned with what I saw and heard. One of my relatives shouted and yelled to me, "Run, run, run!" And as I was running towards the house, the wave caught up and hit me unconscious. When I woke up, I was on a deserted area and I couldn't remember what had happened.
Since her departure a year ago, Arifa has never returned to the island. She always wanted to come back to visit her husband's grave. Today, she finally has the chance to bring her children to pay respect to her deceased husband. She feels relief now. She can finally put this behind her. As Arifa departs from Madifushi, she knows in her heart that this will be the last time she will ever step foot on this island. Even before the Maldives marked the first anniversary of the tsunami, the first phase of housing construction was completed. Arifa and the other victim families of Madifushi once again have a house to call their own. Although the Maldives suffered from less casualties than other countries affected by the tsunami, such as Indonesia and Thailand, they all shared severe economic destruction caused by the disaster. Aside from the disruption to the fishing and tourism industry, the GDP has decreased by an alarming 60% since the tsunami. It will take at least another year before the Maldives can rebuild their infrastructure and the 6,000 homes destroyed by the waves. Mankind has once again proved its humility when faced with the destructive power of nature. One can only hope he will never have to experience another such catastrophe in his lifetime. Although new measures are in place to give advance warning, If another disaster strikes, will we be ready for it?
Khao Lak, a popular tourist hotspot located at the southern part of Thailand. When the Boxing Day tsunami hit this beautiful coastal resort in 2004, homes and lives and everything along the 30-kilometre coast were destroyed in seconds. Over 100 resort hotels in Khao Lak with more than 5,000 rooms were demolished. The disaster has transformed the once bustling resort into a ghost town. Noi is one of the earliest local entrepreneurs to start a tourist business in Khao Lak. It was a deserted beach when Noi and her late